I figure I got about a 50% chance of getting this one done. Okay, welcome back everyone. As you watch this, it is the Sunday before I leave. I leave on Monday morning to New Hampshire to do the presidential traverse. But as I record this, it is the Sunday of the last presidential traverse video, so about 2 weeks ago. Hey everyone, this video got a little out of control. I shot it on multiple days and with multiple cameras, and at some point somehow didn't record some footage or lost some footage, I'm not really sure. This ended up sort of being like a Christopher Nolan film in that there are multiple timelines and none of them line up.
And there's like 3 separate timelines.
Oh, why does every goddamn story have to be a math problem? I'm sorry, I'm so sorry. This man's oeuvre is a bit of a trigger for me.
I'll be interjecting a few things throughout this video to help it make sense. But essentially I did the first pack, 10-mile hike, a second pack, made changes, and it's describing those changes that was lost. So I'll fill those in.
Oh, look. Okay, so now the timelines have merged. So it's like the past is now the future, but the present...
Nolan, you son of a bitch! Okay, sorry. Gotta call my sponsor.
And I got to tell you, for the last, like, week and a half, maybe 2 weeks, I've been living in the realm of 50-50. Like, there are times when I'm like, I feel great. I feel ready. I am so ready. And then there are times when I'm like, yeah, there's no way I can do this. So I just spent about an hour going through the route, and I picked routes to bail out if I can't make it, if I can't finish it. And I also gave some thought to doing a bivouac, a bivvy, in case I can't make it. So if it's like 8 o'clock at night and the sun is just about to set and I've been going since 5 in the morning and I'm just wiped, I'm just going to stop. I'm going to have a bivvy sack. This is a bivvy sack. You know, part of it is like, go as light as you can, you'll be faster. Then part of it is like, what if the poo hits the fan? There's no telling. Do I want a bivvy sack? I should do the bivvy sack before I do this. Bivvy sack is more, and the pad is comfort. I don't need comfort. I'll be so tired. I don't need it. The bivvy sack might be nice. Also depends on the weather. It's going to be cool at night, below 50, which I don't think it will be. If it's going to be raining, then I might bring this, but this might not go. But it's going to go tomorrow. As far the thing that I'm changing is that I realized I am not, after all the hemming and hawing about the bivvy sack, bringing the bivvy sack. In planning and going over the route, I realized that I took the time to find escape paths. Depending on where I was on the trail, if I get to a point where I'm like, I'm not going to make it, I can bail out here. And I've got that set up in various places so that I have escape routes. And so my goal is to use one of those if I need it. I've, at this point now, got a shuttle that's going to pick me up, and they seem to be flexible in terms of when and where, although I might have to wait for them, which makes perfect sense. So I am not going to end up bivvying because I will take an escape route, and the bivvy sack is heavy and bulky. I would much rather carry layers that I am more likely to need and use. So those will go in a dry bag. For now, I'm leaving the bivvy sack in the pack just because it's weight. The clothes I bring will actually end up being a little bit lighter. But that brings up another question, which is, what is success and what is failure? And honestly, success is getting to the starting line. If I can get up there and get hiking and have some fun, that's great. It's 5 legs. I think any leg completed is a success in and of itself. I do not feel like if I'm not able to do this, then it's not the end of the world. I'm not a particularly fast hiker. I am going to try and run this, or at least run sections of it. But also at the same time, I really don't want to injure myself, so I'm going to be careful. Yeah, so I'm going to pack this pack. I still have 2 weeks of training. I've got a long week. I'm doing 20 miles this week. I'm going to try and do a bunch of it as hiking. And then I've got a short week the following week of only, I think, 12 or 14 miles. And then I'm done until I do the event. I'm going to pack this with everything that it needs. And I'm going to do at least a couple of long hikes with it fully loaded just to see how it feels. I've had 8 pounds of water in it, not quite 8 pounds, 6 pounds of water in it, along with jackets and stuff like that. But let's do it for real, see how it feels. And then tomorrow, I think I'm going to do 4 hours on trail. My goal, like I'd like to be able to do 10 miles in those 4 hours. Is that right? So what did I do last time? Hour and a half, I did 4 miles there. 4 hours, I should be able to do 10 miles. We'll see how that is. Okay, it is post dress rehearsal, what I was calling dress rehearsal, which was a 10-mile loop and loop and loop and loop and loop to test out gear and to push me. That's in an annoying place. Let's go back there a little bit. And for the most part, it was good. The 10 miles I did in 3.5 hours felt good. I mean, didn't feel good. It was hard work, but I did it. It was fine. And probably could have kept going. Could have kept going. There was, however, a problem with this, and this is the pack. And so I'm going to make some changes. And it's important to understand why, which is I'm making those changes based on things that I was experiencing. So in general, the pack was great, but I could feel things moving around in it, particularly, I am sure, the little stuff up here. So let's get this loaded up with stuff, starting with the headlamp because it's right here. And let's lock this. That is locked. This is my one complaint with the pack. Every time I go to open the little pocket, I get the big pocket, and every time I want the big pocket, I get the little pocket. That's going to go in there. Little stuff are going to go into these bags. These are from Backcountry Exposure, and full disclosure, they were sent to me for free, but I'm really digging them. They're really beautifully made. I'll put a link to them down below. They're not crazy expensive, but I'm going to have one of these for GoPro stuff, for batteries and accessories and stuff like that. In fact, there's a battery in there someplace if I can get to it. And then another one for like sunscreen and stuff like that, so that they're easy to grab. So what I was saying was that they're easy. They got to be easy to pack and easy to get out. And I'm really digging those bags. I used them on today's hike, which I didn't shoot. So that's a third hike with the loaded pack. And the problem that occurred there was the sticking your hand out. So, and it turns off the camera, which is insanity. When I wanted to do it, it won't do it. But yeah. So that's what I was saying. 360 camera is going to go with me, and I think that GoPro is going to go with me. Let's fill water while I'm here. This is a rain shell. I am not going to need a liner. So I was back there thinking, I grabbed a sleeping bag liner. I don't think it's going to be cold enough that I'm going to want a liner. But I might throw in a 15-ounce sleeping pad. If I actually do have to sleep, that is going to take up a lot of room, though. And then the only other thing that's going in here is food. So let's go gather some food. Some first aid stuff. Let's get that. Another change that I decided to make was I just pulled, you saw me pull, really just blister care stuff in case I needed it. I've had 0 blisters in training, but you never know. And I decided, stupid, pack a bloody little first aid kit. You'll be way happier. So I reincorporated that into a first aid kit, which will end up in the pack. There's one more heavy thing that is going that I should grab, which is power. Let's go get that. So I'm bringing this battery along. This is 10,000 milliamp hours. I'll also have additional batteries for the GoPro. The only other thing I'm going to need to charge is my watch. and the only cable that I have that'll charge my watch will work from this one. I also have this bigger guy. This is 19,000 milliamp hours, much heavier, doesn't do regular USB, only does USB-C, which won't charge my watch. And so I would have to bring or buy a new cable or bring both, and I don't want to bring both. So I'm going to bring just this one. Okay, let's see where we are weight-wise. Ooh, that feels heavy. So that is 14.8 pounds, so almost 15 pounds of weight. Really like it to be below 10, but that's 4 pounds. Let's take some things out of there and see what we're losing. My shell is just about a pound, 12.9 that goes to. Yeah, it's not crazy. So I'll play with it. I'll see how it feels tomorrow. Weight-wise, I don't have to do the bivy sack. I don't have to do the sleeping pad. It adds in sort of a safety factor. And that actually doesn't feel bad. That actually feels pretty good. You got to do a dress rehearsal, or you got to, or call it, you know, whatever you want, a dry run, a dry fit, something. Figure out the way you're going to pack everything and really try to pack everything and see how it feels, because that's the only way you will find out what really works and what really doesn't work. Okay, that's where we are. Wish me luck. I'll see you on the trail. 50-50. Who knows? All right.